Y'all, I know that all my BTS videos aren't out yet, but we're almost there, and I know that I haven't listened to Map of the Soul 7 yet. I will get to that at a certain point, but they just told us last night that Hobi's leaving. On top of the fact that Jimin's releasing an album next month, on top of the fact that Yoongi's going on a US tour, so there's like a lot of BTS things to deal with at the moment. But the Yoongi tour is definitely #1 on my mind right now. And that's why I just uploaded the last Yoongi solo album video like a couple weeks ago, and that's why we're listening to D-2 right now. Because I was gonna put it off for like an appropriate time, a time in which I was like, okay, I really need more Yoongi content. Yoongi's gone, they've taken him away from us, and I won't be able to see him for 2 years. Let's listen to his solo work so that I can have some Yoongi content in this drought. But he was like, LOL, US tour. Literally like a day after they made me spend so much money on TXT tickets. I don't know why Hybe would do this to me. I don't know why Hybe would do this to me. Y'all, I spent so much money on TXT tickets. And then literally like that next day they were like, LOL, Yoongi tour. And I thought it was going to be like Hobie or like Namjoon's where it's like, okay, it's just like a show or two. He's doing like a full US tour. Not here, of course not here, because nobody likes it here. But regardless, I'm going to be there. Tickets have not gone on sale yet. I don't even know if I've gotten the pre-sale. I'll find out in like a couple days. But I'm speaking good things into existence, and regardless, I will be there. Just like with the BTS concerts, I'm gonna make it happen. And there's been like a lot of chit chat back and forth on Twitter about like people who don't like deserve to be there because they don't know the solo work, and I'm not going to get into it because I really don't care. That being said, I am going to be somebody who knows all the words to all the songs. And I have not listened to D-2 yet properly, so I need to rectify that in order to be properly versed and prepared for the concert that I will be there for. Ticketmaster will not fuck me over on this. This album isn't that old. It's only like a couple years old. It came out in May of 2020. So about 4 years after his first mixtape, everybody, I know basically all the songs because I've listened to them in passing, but I've not like sat down, listened to the lyrics, really got into it the way that I should. Obviously I've heard Daechwita. I love Daechwita. They performed it at their anniversary fan meet thing, you know, the OT sound version. Iconic. I'm just very excited because you know that I love Yoongi music. I think he's one of the best writers to ever grace planet Earth, and I love him, and I'm so excited to like get into more music, and I need to like properly learn all the words to Daechwita so that when I'm in the pit, because for some, like, I get it, okay, I get why. I love a good GA pit. I know that I'm biased because my roots are in rock culture and I'm also very tall. So there's really no downside for me being in a GA pit. I get why people don't like it, and I can see already the pitfalls of where this is going to go badly. But they, for some reason, are going to give us a GA floor for his tour. And would I have loved to have seats? Yes. But do I also feel we should have the opportunity to mosh to Daechwita? Yes. Absolutely 100%. I think it will be a very life-defining moment for me, and to be able to experience that will be such an honor. I know that there are going to be weird people who are going to like camp out a week before, but I'm never a press person who needs to be in the front. Like, I'm chill being in the back of the pit in order to be like, I'm just very excited. Okay, very, 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 very excited. And I gotta probably like learn all the lyrics and shit. Anyways, you know how it goes. Lyric video, music video, blah, 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 blah. We're starting top to bottom. Always listen to the album in order, starting with Moonlight. Period. Oh, what a good song. I love when they talk about their relationship to music and the sort of like complicated, complex relationship that they have with it. Because I feel like they've written multiple songs where they're like, what if I just give up? Like, I hate, like, they talk about like the bad things that they don't like about their job, and I think that that's really good because I feel like a lot of people really like to be like, oh my god, idle life, that's like the dream, and they're like, actually no, I'm so exhausted. Like, this is hard. And I love that they feel comfortable enough to write music and write songs about it. I have seen his V Live where he's like talking about this album, and he like talks about that little like talking narration part that he has at the beginning, and he's like, that was a lie. I actually didn't know how many songs I was gonna put in the album. And I think that that's, I love Yoongi. That's so funny. That's so cute. And I love that. Beautiful song. I love the idea that he talks about where it's like something's changed but something's always stayed the same. He has sort of like that solace in the moon, because he's like, I'm still that same person that I was 10 years ago, and even though a lot of things have changed, even though he's like looking up at the moon from like a completely different place than he was 10 years ago, it's still the same moon. And I think that's very poetic and very nice. I do though know that Namjoon has a solo song called Moonchild. I have not properly listened to that either, but I wonder if there's some lyrical thematic parallels in that. I'm sure somebody else has already done like an analysis on it, but really good song. Love it. And it feels, this song feels a lot more lighter. Like I feel like a lot of the songs in his first mixtape, really heavy, really dark, really sad. Not like a bad way, but I feel like it was very representative of the times. You know, 2016 was not the best year for BTS. So I love that it's also reflected in the music, in this, at least in this first song, that it seems a lot lighter, it seems a lot less intense, indicating that he's doing better now, and I love that for him. 2020 wasn't the best year, but like 2019 was pretty okay. But now, okay, y'all, now the next song is just I'm so fucking excited. Okay, we're gonna watch the music video and then we're gonna watch it with the subtitles, but first we just need to watch it and appreciate the visuals. And I know that Jin has a cameo in this, and I think maybe also Jungkook. I love this blonde bling. I love it. I love long blonde hair. He looks so good. Somebody had a really funny tweet to be like, Suga and AGUSTD, he's literally gonna be like Hannah Montana on stage switching in and out of the blonde wig, and I thought that was very funny. Oh, he looks so good. Jin! I miss him every day. Jungkook! Ah! That's the same outfit from the last music video, yes? Yes, the jacket looks very similar. I know that there's like a really good storytelling, and I've seen a lot of people do analysis on this music video about how he's like an emperor and like somebody's sent for execution, and like there's a lot going on that I just don't fully understand. But I'm sure that somebody else has explained it really well. He looks so good. I'm obsessed with him. This is big you belong with me energy, you know? When Taylor was like, I will be a brunette and a blonde, I'll be the villain and the hero. Very iconic. Love that he's doing that too. I love this undercut. I think I love his long hair, but I also feel like we should bring back the undercut. Maybe both. Just really long hair and undercut. Sorry, wait, it's the best part. Love the long blonde hair. Absolutely obsessed with it. Not the sweat. He looks so good! Look at him with that sword. He's so cool. Slay. Oh, sorry, there's more. Is that a gun? Is he gonna kill the king? Oh no! Oh no! Yoongi, run! Wow. Okay, now with words, now with meaning. These sets are also really beautiful. Like, they're so big and vibrant, and like it really sets such a beautiful stage for this music video. That whole second verse really popped off. Such a good song, such a good song. The who says time is money, my time is worth more than that, that line goes so hard. No, that one's so good. And him just hanging out the side of the car, he's just so cool. I love Ben Yoongi. Incredible song. You know the saying that I read a lot on ARMY Twitter is all tongues that rise against BTS shall fall. Very much this vibe, very much this vibe. If I were to throw my hat into the ring for a little bit of analysis, I can tell that this is connected to the first music video, and I'm gonna be so honest, I don't get it. Mostly just because I don't fully remember what that last song was about. Because I only read the lyrics like that one time. I need to go back and like rewatch it in order to like properly, because I know that like the brunette Yoongi in this is like the same one as the one in the other song. But he also plays like the king in this, and I feel like it's similar to the themes in Moonlight, where he's like, I was just that kid like 10 years ago who lived in Daegu, and now I'm all the way like up at the top. And he mentions that also in the lyrics of this song. It was like, I was born a slave, now I'm a king. I rose to the top, and I feel like that's why the two different sides, it's him as a king and then him as this like guy who almost gets executed. I feel like that's just analysis 101, but that's what I got from it. And then like the sort of breakdown part in like the second verse / bridge is what connects to sort of like the after song epilogue scene, where he's like, there's nothing more for me to reach for because I'm already at the top. I want to come back down and, you know, ground myself more. And that's why he kills the king, sort of the person who's like way up at the top, who cares about the money and the clothes, the big house, the big cars, and the big rings. He's killing that version of himself in order to ground himself more. That's what I'm getting. That's my little analysis 101, but I know that there's somebody who's like done a really good analysis on it because I read it once and I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense, but I like never really sat down, like properly appreciated, watched, and understood this song. In order to like get it, I need to find it again. But love the song, love the music video. I can't wait to hear it live. It's gonna be incredible. Y'all, I was editing that video, the last AGUSTD video, like after he had announced the tour, and it was so funny to hear myself be like, I would literally do anything just to hear this live, because I never thought it was gonna happen. I thought it was like just a pipe dream, and now it's like literally happening. Y'all, oh my god, I'm so excited. Like, the thing I will go to, there were no links I will not go to in order to see this band live. Like, I need to be in the crowd to hear this song live. It's gonna be incredible. Like, I know it. It's gonna be, I'm so excited. Okay. Anyways, next song, what do you think? Period! Period! Oh, that's this line! Yes! Say that, king! Billboard #1, bitch! One day we will get you your Grammy! I'm so fucking tired of this game being weird and racist. I know, bestie! Period! Period! Wow. Perhaps the best hype song to ever hype song? You know, I've said it before, I'll say it 1,000 times, I love a good hype song. I love a song where it's like, actually, fuck you, I'm the best, and I'm better than you, you suck. And I think this, it's so good. It's peak perfection that it hits like the bullseye that's like beyond the bullseye. It shoots through the bullseye, through the wall, to another wall, into another bullseye. It's so good. Like, every single line of this song is absolutely incredible. I cannot wait to hear this live because this song has that passion that I always need and want from hype songs. So slay. And he's talking down to people who don't work for their money. So, is it weird to call idols the working class? Because in some ways they are. I would say Yoongi, if we're like, no, idols are not the working class, I'd be like, okay, well maybe Yoongi's the exception because he definitely has like worked outside of just being an idol or whatever. I would consider idols the working class because they work for their money, but they're also like kind of sort of the 1%. So like, I don't know. I'm not putting my neck on the line for somebody who's like a billionaire. But like, I love that he's like, no, actually those people just flaunting all their money. Did they even work for it? No. No, they did not. Let's just go line by line because my god, this is such a good song. The fact that it starts with whatever you think, sorry, but I don't fucking give a shit. Period. Say that. I don't give a fuck that your life is mediocre. Like, you fucking suck, and that has like literally nothing to do with me. Like, oh, he's so iconic. For you to think that my success is related to your failure, your delusion is top notch. I've seen that line like so many times used when like there's a silly little fan war on Twitter, and I never knew that it was from the song. It's so iconic. And I thought that like, okay, that's the line in the song, but then there's so many of like those #1 lines in this song. Do you know I also love just like a tiny bit of drama? So the fact that he had to bleep out a name, whether or not it was like a real name that he bleeped out, or like just the fact that he is like, there are certain people that I may not name in the song, I think is very iconic. The bleep listening to the song, well, they pass out from getting pissed as hell. Like they listen to the song and they get themselves so worked up and angry that I'm better than them, that they just like pass out. I think that that's so iconic. I don't bother with flexing, but private jet so fly. And like I can't even imagine how expensive it is to fly private internationally, because they do that like kind of often, especially now that they're all on like their solo excursions going to like Milan and Paris and LA and New York and whatever for like all their like separate schedules. Like that must be super expensive. Like, okay, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I get when like celebrities in like the US have private jets, because at the most you're going for like a 5-hour flight from like one coast to the other. Like that's maintained, but to be flying from like across oceans on a private jet, that's expensive. That means you have money. I'm not surprised, because like BTS #1 bestsellers 24/7 every day always, but like that is a flex. I love that for them. I also love the rice grain line, that I don't care about this rice grain that once got stuck to me. Like this one thing that you want to bring up is like literally so small and so insignificant. Like, it's such a good metaphor. I love it. But then also, when we get back to the chorus, though, what do you think? Billboard #1, what do you think? Multiple times in a row. And this was before Dynamite, right? Yeah, because it came out in May. So, like, Billboard, this was their Billboard #1 before their Billboard #1. Week after week after week after week. I'm so proud of them. God. And then the Grammy next, what do you think? I think personally that we shouldn't have to care about the Grammys. The only reason I care about the Grammys is because they care about the Grammys. If they were like, I don't give a fuck about getting no stupid fucking Grammy. You think I care about some dumbass American award? No. Then I like would be so free to not care. But they care, so I need to care. And I hate the Grammys. I've said it year after year. I hate the Grammys. All they do is disrespect hardworking people of color. And it shows every single year. And I hate it. But let it be said that one day they will get their Grammy, and it will be a day. I will rue the day. For now, though, they are Grammy nominees, which I think is very slay. The 10 zeros in my bank account is the money holding my youth as collateral. An incredible line, but also 10 zeros? That's so many zeros. And I know that like Korean won and like US dollars are not a 1-to-1 comparison, but 10 zeros is a lot of zeros. And I love the theme of the big house, big cars, big rings. I love when rappers have like not just a rapper tag, because I feel like all rappers have like a little rapper tag, and I love to hear those, but I love like thematic things like this that come back in your music. Like Jong-wan has the 1, 2, 3 Ratcha get the spotlight. I love that, because it's not just a rapper tag, it's like it's a theme that you can drop in like your early music, and then when you've like hit it big, you can bring it back and be like, yeah, I love it. I love thematic, not parallels, but like when things come back, it works. Self-referential. I love self-referential shit. It's so good. It's so good. And he does. The big house, the big cars, and the big rings. I'm so proud of him. He's worked so hard. But not only the big house, big cars, big rings, he has a black card. And I've heard, I don't know if it's true because it was on some like little gossipy fan site, and those are usually mostly false and just hearsay. But I've heard that, I don't know if it's all the BTS members, but Jin specifically is who they mentioned in the like video article, that he has like some top exclusive black card from like American Express, or like some like top tier bank where it's only like the 1% of the 1% get to have it, and you have to spend like $10,000 a month in order to keep it. Something crazy like that. Some like crazy rich people shit. And like, good for them. I don't love the rich, but I love that BTS are rich. Two separate things. Because they deserve it. They've worked so hard and they deserve it. Those asshole privileged by the media gets on the broadcast more than me. Those brats flexing their money, wonder how much they have actually earned. Say that. Because if one thing's for certain, all the money that BTS has, they have worked for it. They didn't come from the big three. They rose up and they made it. They made Big Hit what it is today. So proud of them, my god. We will join the military service on our own when the time comes. And like, I know that this has been a thing that they've always said. And I know it's not my culture, so it's not my place to say. But I think on a very selfish level, they shouldn't have to. And I personally am very sad every day that another one leaves. And I've said from the beginning, if you're all gonna leave, why don't we just send you all together? But now they're choosing to like draw it out and like just like leech so that every single time somebody else leaves, it's like a because I already had to deal with the fact that Jin's gone, and now it's Hobie, and somebody on Twitter said it was gonna go in the order of their solo releases, which means Dex is gonna beat up June. I can't do it! I could barely handle the idea when it was all 7 of them together, and now the fact that we have to do it one by one, that hurts. That is, I think, what hurts the most. Because it'd be one thing if, like, okay, they're all gone and they're gonna take a 2-year hiatus. But it's like, okay, we're gonna take a 2-year hiatus starting at different times. And I'm like, why do we just stagger it? I get that they all want to have time to do their solo work, and I'm very excited for them to do solo work, but I'm also just like, my god, every time someone of them leaves, a part of my heart breaks. It's very upsetting. But I get it, it's their life, they want to serve their country, blah, 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 blah. Hope the assholes who tried to join the bandwagon to sell our names as a whole will shut up. Period. The amount of people who get paid to speak badly about BTS is so fucking weird and disrespectful. Like, why? Why? Get a real job. So embarrassing. And so many people have tried to tear BTS down, continue to try to tear BTS down. The amount, okay, the weird, okay, I get, we don't love HYBE as a company. People are like, they're monopolizing the K-pop industry. I don't disagree. I do think that their weird acquisition of SM was like weird, and their whole drama with, whatever that man is, Lee Soo, with his weird like apology YouTube, it's all very weird, okay, and I get it, and I love to make jokes about like the hypification of merch and how like, oh my god, we hate the new 17 Lights Day, blah 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 blah, but like that has literally nothing to do with BTS, and the amount of people who want to drag BTS's names into this, and I'm like, they literally this has nothing to do with them, nothing to do with them, shut up. But because they're the face, because people, I don't think people understand the difference between Big Hit and HYBE. I also fully don't understand the difference between Big Hit and HYBE, if I'm being so honest. But like, because they're sort of like the face of the company, everybody wants to be like, okay, so that's on them. And I'm like, it's literally not. It's literally not. Because if there's one thing I know for certain with my whole chest, with my whole heart, with every ounce and cell of my being, is that BTS are always looking out for us, and they love us, and they like care about us. When like I didn't sit through like 30 minutes of marketing developmental merch meetings for them to be like, is there a way for us to make this good and high quality while also not being so expensive? Because they care about us. And I know, blah 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 blah, parasocial. If you're gonna come into my comments and talk about parasocial relationships, you're literally gonna get blocked. Shut the fuck up, I don't care. But if there's one thing I know for certain is that BTS are like actually good people who have others' well-being in mind when they make decisions, and like they don't just care about themselves. So like, if it were up to them, would they monopolize the K-pop industry? No. That has nothing to do with them. And then on top of that, people want to be weird about their personal lives. And I'm just like, shut up, leave them alone. Is Taehyung dating a member of Blackpink? I literally don't care. And that's on ARMY sometimes as well. That's on ARMY sometimes as well, because I swear to god, the only times that I see like weird rumors about BTS are when other ARMY are talking about it. I don't follow any of those weird like Koreaboo news sites. I don't care. Because I was personally believe if they're not telling us personally through like their official channels on like their Twitter, on Weverse, on anything like that, then like I don't need to know. I don't need to know when they're at the airport. I don't need to know when they're hanging out with their family. I don't need to know if they're dating anybody. If they don't want to tell us, if they don't want to put it on their public Instagram, then I don't need to know. It's none of my business. But I swear to god, like when Jennie, Lisa, one of the Blackpink girls, I don't know which one, like she had like her private Instagram hacked or something, and like she had photos with Taehyung or somebody, and like there's contention about whether or not it's actually them. I really don't care one way or the other, because even if it is them, it's none of our business. And the only reason that I heard about it was because people were on my fucking timeline being like, oh my god, we need to respect their privacy, blah 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 blah. Just shut up. If we all just collectively agreed to not follow these accounts, then we wouldn't have to be bothered by this news in the first place. Because they're not going to address it. Taehyung never addressed that. because it's not our business one way or the other. But all those fucking assholes had to join the bandwagon and just write little articles being like, oh my god, Taehyung's in a secret relationship. Oh my god, Jungkook's in a secret relationship. Because they know that there will be armies and people who care about them that will click on it and give them money and AdSense and attention. And if some of y'all were a little bit better about that, we wouldn't have such a big of an issue. Anyways, that was a very long tangent in order to say I don't care about anybody but BTS. I only focus on BTS. If they don't have things to say to me themselves, then I don't need to know. Anyways, moving on. I don't give a fuck at those who say idol music isn't music. Period. Period. Imagine listening to music by an idol group and being like, this is just not music or bad because it's made by an idol group. Like, that's such a weird take to have. Because why? The music is very good. I'm not saying every idol group makes good music. There's plenty of idol groups that I don't like their music. But like to just say on the basis of the fact that they're an idol group, it's like not good music. Like this is the same stance that I have when people are like, oh, they didn't write their own song, so therefore it's bad. I'm like, I personally do not care if somebody's actually written their own music as long as it's good. Obviously, I love and prefer when an artist writes their own music because then I do feel like it is better. I feel like on average, generally music is better when it's self-written. I think the #1 clearest example for BTS's discography is Dynamite. A lot of non-BTS writers credited on that song, and it is the worst song of their discography, I will say that. But just because you didn't write a song doesn't mean that it's automatically bad. That's why songwriters have a job. But even discrediting idol music that is self-written, like, that's just weird. That's just a weird self-hatred-y weirdness. Some preconceived notions that you have in your head that you need to sort out by yourself. Anyways, as you can tell, that this song got me very heated. It's a very good song, and it will get me so hyped when I hear it live. Because Yoongi gets it. Yoongi gets it. And I think the fact that he has a separate persona in which to express his more, like, aggressive and, like, mean opinions like this, I think is very, very smart. But also, like, such a slight that he has so many sides to him. Like, Suga of BTS. He's so sweet. I love Yoongi, he's so kind and so sweet, but then he also has the ability to come out and be like, no, A to the G to the U to the STD, you're a fucking bitch. Don't ever fucking look at me. And I think that having that range is just, like, it's so slight. So iconic of him. Anyways. We are only 3 songs in. We gotta keep going. Next song is Strange featuring Namjoon. Slay. We love our anti-capitalist kings. See, this is why I'm like, I have like an issue being like, yes, BTS are considered, I guess, technically the rich, but I think that they align themselves more, and I would be in agreement by saying that they're closer to the proletarian, to the working class, rather than like the bourgeoisie. And I think it's just a very like well-spoken, articulate commentary on like life and capitalism and its effects on society. It's kind of beyond my mind to be able to try to like filter through my own thoughts and like speak back to you. But I think it's very slay of them. They're very class conscious. And I think that's very good. And I definitely think it's because they, unlike other people, other idols specifically, came from humble beginnings and are able to recognize the privileged position that they are in. And that's like what the whole like chorus is talking about, of being like, it's so weird that calling this out is the weird part, that like we're aware of all of this, but we're weird for saying that, and not everybody else is weird for just like allowing it to happen and for being unaware and ignorant in their like position. And they also just sound great. Very good. I feel like a lot of people have made this joke before, but I feel like just like having a really deep discussion with them about like capitalism, the state of the society, feminist theory, like all of that, I feel like they are really well versed in it. They read theory, and like we would just have like such a good fun conversation, and I love them a lot. I can't wait to hear the song live. I also do think it would be ironic though to like have a whole song that's like dissing capitalism at your, I'm assuming, sold out multi-million-dollar making tour. I think that would be a little bit ironic. But I'm also just like, again, they work for the money. So, anyways, we are not even halfway through the album. We gotta keep going. 28. This song is one of my favorite songs. I can't wait to get into like the actual lyrics of it though. Perhaps that was a different song than what I thought it was, or perhaps this was a bad translation. Let me try to find a different one, because I swear the lyrics that I remember reading of this the first time were different. Yeah, this video just had a very bad translation because I just read a better one and it makes a lot more sense. Beautiful song. Not the song that I thought I was talking about. So I'm interested to figure out what song I got confused with this one is. But very beautiful song. I think, again, there's a big theme in this album about who you were before versus who you are now. Like the growth of yourself over time. And I think that this song really hits on that sort of fear of being like, I thought everything in my life was gonna like click when I turned this age, when I like graduated, when I turned 20, blah, 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 blah. And the realization of being like 28 and sort of like still not knowing what you're doing, still not knowing like what your dreams are, why you get like so emotional all of a sudden, still like not really fully knowing yourself. A very beautiful song. And I think speaks to a like the core of this album really well. Like there's a lot of songs in this album, at least so far, about like reflecting on who you were before, and I think a lot of that has come out of the fear that's very present in this song of being like, I don't know who I am, therefore he's reflecting on who he was before and how he got to this point. I think it's just very interesting. I love Yoongi and his writing, very introspective, very good. Next song though is Burn It, featuring Max, and I love Max. I love Blueberry Eyes. Blueberry Eyes is an absolutely beautiful song, but I've loved Max since his Nickelodeon days. And I'm so happy to see like that he's still making music, and I love to see like how his career has progressed, and the fact that he is friends with Min Yoongi is like such a slay. I love that for them. I love that they're besties. I love that they love basketball, and I love that they go to basketball games together. That's just very cute to me. But Burn It. What a good song. What a good song. I feel like this is a song he has to play live, because I feel like Max's part in it, while incredible, his voice sounds so good, is like, it's not like a full verse, it's just like a small part in the chorus that like, it would be very easy to just be like, and now you sing. And it's all in English, so we could easily just do it. I think that this would be an incredible song to perform live. I think also this song, this is why you listen to an album in order, in my opinion, is a beautiful sort of resolution, sort of evolution to the feelings and worries before. About, he talks about how there's been a lot that he's done and a lot of like mixed emotions that he's had, and he's like, the me who has tasted success, what's the difference between that and who I was before? And I love that he walks away with this idea of being like, I just want to start anew. Kind of like a phoenix from the ashes, just like burn it all down. I don't want to be like held or tied to anything that I was before, anything that I've done before, just like burn it all. Like connecting to Max's line in the chorus about being like, there's someone in the mirror you don't know, everything is all wrong. So instead of like trying to like figure out, like what's going on with this, why am I the way I am, what has gone wrong in this whole time, just like let all of those worries, all of that rage and jealousy and all of those negative emotions, let them all go, burn it all down, burn the bridge to the past, let it go, start anew. I think that's a really good, strong message. We all love the line, I hope you don't forget that giving up decisively also counts as courage. I've seen that line so many places, and I'm glad to know that it came from this song. Because like similar to his part in Paradise and a couple of their other songs that have this theme that I'm forgetting right now, but like the idea that you don't have to keep just sort of like pounding something down, grinding at it. You don't have to keep like fighting against something that isn't working for you. You can just, you know, stop or move on or change paths. Like that's always an option. I think it's a great message. And I love this song. I also am very biased because I love Max. So, okay. I think it's maybe People. I think People is the song that I love. People is the next song. Very, very exciting. Yes, it's this one. Do, 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 do.
Why so serious? Why so serious? Why so serious?
Another fucking beautiful song. I think this song is very thematically similar to Change Part 2 by RM. Like, the idea things change, people change, everything change, I think is a really good way to like sum up this song. I think that this song, again, this is why we listen to albums in order, follows a very good thematic arc of after Burn It, of being like, I'm gonna let all of those emotions and things go. This song is very chill. This song is very like fourth dimension, third eye open, like I'm like wise beyond my circumstances. I think it's very, very good. It's also like kind of melancholy in the way that it's sort of like a little bit removed, a little bit pulled back. Love the what kind of person am I? Am I a good person or a bad person? The assessments are all different. I'm just a person too. Because I feel like, especially in this sort of new age, I hate using the word cancel culture because it's never used properly, but in this new age of everybody wanting to like make sure and like vet all of their interests to make sure that they're like 100% morally perfect, there's a lot of this like nuance of like personhood and complexity that's lost, of being like some things are not 100% one way or the other. Some people are good and have done shitty things. Some people are shitty people who have done good things. Like, not everything's so black and white in this way. And I think that those lines really hit that nail on the head. Also love the when it's not there you wish it is, when it's there you wish it's not. Who said the humans are the animals of wisdom? To my eyes it's obvious that they are the animals of regret. Again, sort of hitting on that idea that I just said, where this song feels very sort of like beyond human circumstances. Like I've burned all of my human emotions away and now I am wise, I am enlightened. And then he has that whole section where he's like, your being ordinary is rather my being special, your being special is rather my being ordinary, and then vice versa. Because he does live such like an extravagant, one-of-a-kind lifestyle, that a thing that many celebrities have touched on, that like the sort of ordinary day-to-day life that everybody gets to have is what they really crave. Like, they want to just be able to go to the grocery store like a normal person, or go to the movies, or go get dinner, and like have that just be like a chill thing that they can do and not such like a big spectacle because they're like blah 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 BTS. But again, there's none of that like anger, bitter resentment towards it, because he's enlightened in this song, calling back to like what he said in the first verse about being like an ordinary life, a special life, it's all good, it's all good. I think it's a very nice, good, like grounding, chill song. Going back to Daechwita, he's grounded now and he's not so like up in his head, consumed by all these emotions. He's just like, you know, life is life and like it's all good, man, no problems, absolutely no worries, just vibes. And it also just sounds beautiful. I really like that song. But next song, Honsool? Honsool. Honsool. I hate having to pronounce it like an American. Another incredible song. Those lyrics are so good. Perhaps it's my favorite? I love just like big introspective songs like this. I also think that the melody is very, very nice. I like the chorus. It's a nice, sweet, short chorus. I think this is another deeply, incredibly personal song. A lot closer thematically, I guess, to the last mixtape that he put out. Once again, if I remember correctly, there was a song in his first mixtape where he was talking about the fact that he needs like alcohol every day to sort of just like get through it, and he brings it back in the song. And again, it's his life, he knows what's best for himself, but I do worry just a little bit because that's not good. Once again, love that he feels comfortable enough to be so vulnerable in this song. Like the fact that he can just so candidly be like, yeah, I have money, wealth, I do stadium tours, I have all these trophies, I have all these accolades, but like at the end of the day it scares me, and I'm like, do I want any of this? Sometimes I want to run away from it all. And like at the end of the day, at the end of a very tiring day, and he's all by himself, like the silence is like so loud, and he's confronted by the fact that he's all alone and all he can do is like drink, and he can't even go to sleep. Like, oh my god, that is like gut-wrenching. And there's no like heartwarming message at the end of the song of being like, yeah, I struggle through all this, but at the end of the day I'm okay. Like the song just sort of like ends on a very sad note of him being like, You know, I thought, like, when you become a superstar, it's like parties every day and everybody's like so happy and like great, but the ideal is slapping the reality in the back of its head. Well, it doesn't matter anyways. Tomorrow will come and go again. I, who's like this, and you who's like that, we just endure through the day, I guess. But I do love that last line, because it's sort of like we're in this together, but it is just sort of like, you know, the years start coming and they don't stop coming. Very much like, you know, today is another really stressful day, kind of hate this, and tomorrow will be another day like this. Like the edited clip from A Marriage Story, that every day I wake up, slam your fist to the wall, cry. Every day you wake up. Yeah, felt, say that. What a good song, my god. I feel like he has so, like, this song would be too sad to perform, like, live, but, like, then by that standard, you can't perform any of his first album. Like, I feel like he writes so many songs like this that are, like, so deeply, like, gut-wrenching and personal that I'm like, I could not imagine having to sing this live night after night, and then you have to go back to your hotel room when you're literally alone because it's your solo tour. I couldn't do it. Min Yoongi, stronger than me. Next, though, is an interlude, Set Me Free. And I know that Jimin, his solo album that's coming out soon, has a song called Set Me Free Part 2. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm not incorrect, that is the part 2 of this song. Maybe. Who knows? Perhaps.
Set me free, yeah. Set me free.
Absolutely heartbreaking song. Min Yoongi, he's never really, like, sung a song like this. Like, whenever he sings, it's like in that sort of singing, sort of rapping sort of way. This is like a proper, like, ballad from the heart. It sounds like he's gonna cry, which makes me wanna cry. Absolutely heartbreaking song. Again, I think if you're looking at the overall story, the overall arc of the album, you go from Burn It, which is like, I'm gonna just, like, let all those emotions go away. Burn it all up, not worry about them anymore. And then you get, what's the song after Burn It? And then you get People, where it's like, I am so chill, I am above all of these feelings. And then you're hit with Honsool, which is like the sort of, not even just like the emptiness of being, of having all of those emotions removed from you, but the emptiness of your day-to-day life, because your day-to-day life is still what it is. And then to reach this song, which is like, set me free of that sort of monotonous feeling, that sort of these emotions that I cannot control or understand in this life, that sort of puts me in these situations to bring up these emotions. Like get me out of that. I think also a thought that I had before that I forgot to say, I think that this album is very telling, especially after Map of the Soul Summit, which again I have not properly listened to yet. But as we all know now, that album was supposed to be like their last sort of album before they went on a big hiatus because they were so burnt out, but then they came out with Dynamite, and that sort of shot rocketed their career to a place that they could not, like, step back. So all of these songs sort of being like, this life that I live every day is sort of hell, every day is a struggle, is like all that more sad and painful to listen to, because he probably thought, okay, we're gonna put out this album, I'm gonna put out my mixtape, and it's sort of gonna be like the last time I have to, like, struggle with this before I get to, like, actually breathe and take a break. And then they went on for like another 3 years, and he's still fucking working today. Like, he has had a little bit of a rest. And I'm sure if he didn't want to be going on this tour, he wouldn't be going on this tour. But it's still just like, God, when is this man gonna be able to just, like, breathe? Like, what's that saying? A gilded cage is still a cage. Like, yes, his life, as mentioned in the last song, is, like, great and fun, and everybody wants it, like, mentioned in People. Or my ordinary is rather your special. Like, everybody wants this life, but, like, he still feels very trapped in it. So I hope that he's just doing better now, and I hope that this time off does well for him, and that these feelings are, I feel like it'd be too much to say that they're gone entirely, because I feel like that comes with the nature of this work, but they're alleviated, that he's able to deal with it better, because I just don't want him to have to be, like, feeling so stuck, so trapped. I am also, though, very intrigued if Set Me Free Part 2 by Jimin is a part 2 of this song. That worries me. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Because I'm like, oh no. Like, I assume they all feel this to some extent. Being in BTS, again, as I've said so many times, must be so incredibly stressful. But and I hope that they're all doing okay, but like the fact that Jimin is taking what I assume. I'm assuming that these songs are connected. Jimin is taking this song, sort of building on top of it, makes me worry that he has something to say on the issue, which means that he's not doing the best. I just want them to all be doing okay. Absolutely heartbreaking, a beautiful interlude. A Yoongi interlude never misses. But we've reached the final song. Finally, after 2 hours, we've reached the final song on this maybe 30-minute album. And the last song is Dear My Friend. Beautiful song. My god. Absolutely beautiful, heartbreaking song. You know I love a song that tells a story. I love storytelling music, and Yoongi does it better than anybody else. But also, this story fucked me up. My god, this story is so fucking heartbreaking. The fact that his only friend, apparently, that he grew up with, that he, like, dreamed with, that he shared so many passions and ambitions with, went to prison. Not only that, but then, like, got out of prison, and then he sees him and he's like, oh my god, it's like I never knew you. Like, the idea, because he talks about change a lot in this album, and he talks about how, like, throughout time things change, but him to, like, re-meet this friend and be like, no, actually, what has changed between us, or what has changed you, or what has changed me is bigger than what time has done. Like, my god. And, like, all the complex emotions that he puts into this song about being like, I miss you and I hate you, because, like, the idea that, like, I shouldn't have to miss you if you just, like, didn't change. Like, it's like I don't know you anymore. There's no me that you used to know, there's no you who I used to know. My god. I know that it's not just because of the time that we've changed. There's no way to bring you, who was my only friend, back, and you became a monster. God, imagine how heartbreaking that must be. To be like, okay, my only friend who I love and appreciate so much, we had so many good memories together, one day just, like, stops calling you out of the blue to find out that he's in prison. 3 hours round trip every day to visit you in prison. And then he finally gets out, and, like you see them for who they are, and you're like, oh my god, this is this guy who I thought was my best friend, who was my only friend. I don't even know him anymore. Like, it's weird to say a betrayal, because it's not exactly the way you would use that word, but, like, in a way it is. Like, a betrayal. God, that's crazy. And he said he was 20 at the time, which means that this is, like, right around the beginning of BTS. So to, like, he was dealing with so much at that time, trying to, like, debut in a hip-hop, K-pop group. He has a fucked up shoulder, because he was hit by a car. And this, spending his free time taking a 3-hour round trip to go visit his friend in prison. Bro. That's crazy. And then to get out and it's not clear why his friend went to prison, but to get out and to have been supposedly, assumedly rehabilitated, to just immediately, like, turn your back and be like, hey, wanna try some drugs? To be like a drug pusher, like, bro. Obviously, not looking down on people with substance abuse issues or who do drugs recreationally, that's your life. But also, like, at this moment, it must be like, come on, dude. Like, are you fucking serious right now? After all we've just fucking been through to get you out of prison, you're gonna do this right now? Like, damn, that's just so fucked up. I could not imagine the pain and the regret. Because it's not just like the, oh my god, this guy has turned into somebody I don't even know. Like, Yoongi talks, or who was the man on the feature? I'm so sorry. Jong-wan. Jong-wan says so beautifully, his voice is beautiful in the chorus, maybe if I had held you back then, no, if I had stopped you back then, would we have remained as friends? So, like, the idea that's, like, eating him up as being like, maybe I could have done something differently. It's like, this has nothing to do with you, baby. This has nothing to do with you. Like, like, that's crazy. To, like, walk away from the situation and then, like, have you feel guilty, like, that must really fuck you up. I can't believe he was dealing with this, my god. Oh my, Beautiful song though, absolutely beautifully written. Like the countless days with the two of us, even the world is nothing to be afraid of. That fucks me up, bro. That must fucking hurt so bad. Because you guys also talked about the fact that he doesn't really like have like normal everyday friends. Like you see on like Namjoon's Instagram story a lot that like he has like a group of friends that he hangs out with. I think they're also like his band, but like he has like a group of people that he can like go out and like do things with that like aren't just in the members of BTS. We don't see that with Yoongi. Like sometimes we do, like he has like other celebrity friends that he hangs out with occasionally, but like he's talking about how the fact like he doesn't have like a group of friends to like go and hang out, like go to the movies with or whatever, and I'm like, so for his only friend to like betray him, like it feels weird to say betrayal because it makes it sound like this guy did it like on purpose, and like obviously nobody wants to like go to prison. But like I said before, when you turn around after like having been rehabilitated, you're like, I'm still going to continue to do illegal shit. Like that's a choice. And I just can imagine that like it must have like fucked him up so bad. That must have hurt so bad. And like that really sucks. Damn, my god. Another incredibly personal song. He gets like Yoongi gets so personal in his music, and I genuinely don't know how he can do it, especially after how much public scrutiny they are always under and have been under for years. For him to continue to share parts of himself and parts of his life with the public is like so brave, and I love him. I love him. But that is it. That is D-2. An incredible album. Absolutely beautiful songs from top to bottom. What do you think? Very good. Honsool, I think also very good. Those two might be my top two favorites, just because I can't pick one because those two songs are so incredibly different. Very different vibes, very different themes. Again, once again, the range of Min Yoongi. Those two might be my favorites. I think hopefully I get to hear them both live on his tour because I will be there. I think though, because Max is based in LA, yes, that he's perhaps, knock on wood, gonna make a cameo appearance at the LA show. Who knows? I'm not gonna be there, so I'm gonna be at a different show because you got me fucked up if you think I'm gonna try to get tickets at the Forum again. I hate the Forum. I hate the Forum. I hate the Forum, and if I can avoid going, I will. But I feel like if there's anywhere that we're gonna get a fun celebrity cameo at the concert, it's gonna be at the Forum, and it's gonna be Max. That being said, I think that this album is incredible, beautiful, top to bottom. Once again, Min Yoongi never misses. All of these songs are so good. I think this song is extra powerful because of the time it was written and because we now know everything that was sort of, or not everything, we know kind of sort of what was going on at the time. This was supposed to be, in theory, his last sort of thing that he put out before they all went on break. And then the break never happened, and they kind of sort of had a break starting in June or whatever. But like, was it really? He's been working. He's been doing so much work, and now he's gonna go on a solo tour. Like a 20-show tour? Like something crazy. Like, I just hope that he's in a better place. Because as we saw in the Festa dinner, not the like the most recent one, the one that they put out in June where they were like, we are so exhausted and we need a break, that these past couple of years have been really hard. And I imagine it's because they were sort of being burnt out at this point in which his album came out, and then they continued to burn themselves deeper as you went into 2020, 2021, 2022. So I just hope that he's better now, that he's had some time to rest, that he has a better support group around him, that he's doing well, that he's not just like drinking alone in his room every night, not able to sleep. Because I want him to be doing better. I want him to be doing better. I worry about him. I worry about all of them, but I worry about him a lot. There have been no set confirmations on a D3 coming out before the tour, because the tour's in May and we're almost in March. So there, in theory, could be a solo album that comes out in like April or a little bit after Jimin's in March. Who knows? There have been no talks about it, but I assume most people go on tour after they release an album. So we will see. I don't know. Once again, just an incredibly beautiful album, top to bottom. The whole storyline of the album. I wouldn't necessarily call this a concept album, but it's clear that like the songs go in a story sort of order, with the starting with the sort of mix of emotions, and how that sort of culminates in Burn It, and then that sort of like hits a sort of a slump with Honsool, and Set Me Free. An incredible album though. Let me know what you think of all these songs. What's your favorite song? What song do you want him most to perform on tour? Will you be on the tour? Will you be at one of the shows on the tour? Let me know. Because I am going to be there. I don't care what Ticketmaster has to say. I don't care how hard they're going to fight, because I will fight harder and I will be there. I will be in the pit. I finna be in the pits.